Please give it up for Kimberly Rae Miller.
So, some people are addicted to crack, and I am addicted to Israelis. The thing is, Israelis are just so no bullshit. You know, if they want to have sex with you, they will just tell you. And if they want to marry you and have your babies, they'll tell you that too. And so, when I met Avi, he told me that he wanted to be my boyfriend on our second date. What he actually said was, shopping is what boyfriend and girlfriend do, eh? And I said, no. We were shopping for his man purse. Going to take with him to Los Angeles for a 3-month internship, which I was so grateful for because that is like the perfect letdown. I'm sorry, it's not going to work, you're leaving. But you know, call me in 3 months when you're back and maybe we'll get coffee because I'm American and I am passive aggressive. And lo and behold, 2 days after our second date, Avi was in Israel, and I got an email with an e-ticket to Los Angeles with a quote from Avi's favorite book, He's Just Not That Into You, that said, if a man wants to be with you, he will. And that was really sweet, because I had just broken up with someone I'd been with for a year who lived in Chicago, and I lived in New York, and it just wasn't working. And I thought, finally, somebody who wants to be with me. Never mind the fact that Avi had a bit of a lisp, and every time he whispered my name, he said, Kimberly. On our first date, he showed up and he was wearing these acid wash skinny jeans with a baby tee from an Incubus concert, and I didn't have a carton, it was a woman's t-shirt. But I told myself, he's Israeli, you know, cultures are different. You shouldn't be close-minded to people, because I'm American and I'm passive-aggressive. And I was also jobless at the time, so I was like, why not? So I got on a plane for my second date to Los Angeles to spend a week with Avi. And, you know, to his credit, you know, he was strange, but he was sweet. He hated roller coasters, but he planned this amazing day for us at Disneyland and went on every roller coaster and was ringing, completely, like, could not speak. He wanted to vomit so much. And I was working in comedy at the time, and he had established, like, different comedy clubs around LA that had female comics that we would go to, and he planned it all out. But there were things about him that I learned on our second week-long date and living with him that I couldn't accept. Like, he wore manties, little panties for men, with slogans on them. And I said, you know, he's Israeli, you know. They're more, you know, European. His favorite pair had like 3 X's on the penis. And when he came home from a long day of interning, he would Google pictures of Brad Pitt from the movie Troy without a shirt on, and he would like look at them and then want to discuss them in length and want to talk about like how he was going to go to personal training and look like Brad Pitt, and then he wanted to make out. You know, I did, because he'd flown me to Los Angeles. And so like I didn't have sex with him, but I gave him a blowjob. And after he was like, you are so elegant, you are like a princess when you spit. And I was like, but I didn't tell him that, because that's me. And so, you know, I was like, I can't break up with him here. So I left, and I was like, I'm just going to slow down the, you know, the G-chatting. And, you know, I'll break up with him when he's back, because he'll probably forget, right? But the next week he showed up at my door, and he had taken the red eye because I was having a barbecue. And he saw it on Facebook, and he wanted to be a supportive boyfriend. And I was like, just don't tell anyone you're my boyfriend. And I felt like the most terrible version of myself, and he was just so loving, and I didn't know him. And so I didn't break up with him then either, because he was like flown all the way to New York for my barbecue, so I just, you know, made out with him again. And, you know, a few months later he came back, and he wanted to start dating for real. And, you know, I said, you know, you are a great guy. Any woman would be so lucky to have you, you're just not my guy. And he said, no, I'm not done dating you. And I had never been told that, like, I couldn't break up with someone, so I was like, okay. hated cuddling. And guys, if a girl says she hates cuddling, she's just not that into you. And I told him not to tell anyone we were dating. And I told him he should still see other people because they're, he's new to America and there are lots of types of women, not just me. And when he would tell me that different girls hit on him, I'd be like, really? And I was genuinely excited because I really wanted to know what they saw in him. So I could see it too because in my mind he was exactly what I should want. He was smart and he was funny and he was getting his MBA, so eventually he would be able to support me. And he was good to me. And I don't think I ever dated anyone who was good to me before. And then something happened. My ex-boyfriend came to visit. The one I had broken up with because he lived in Chicago and I lived in New York. And we went out to catch up and he spent the whole night on his BlackBerry. And we were calling friends and arranging other visits. And I thought, God, Avi would never treat me like this. And I decided right then and there that I was going to be the best girlfriend to Avi. I was going to make time for him. I was going to dedicate myself to making him happy. And no, he was not perfect, but he was good enough. And, maybe I'm not the kind of girl that gets to fall in love. Maybe I just settle for someone who treats me okay. And he was so excited he asked me to move in with him, and I said no. But we did the next best thing. We went out to Miami to celebrate Valentine's Day together. But because I'm passive progressive and after time saying no, my period was like 3 weeks late. And I was really, really worried that I was pregnant. And Avi really liked to schedule sex. And so we got the plane and he said, are we going to fuck when we get in the hotel? And I said, I'm actually kind of hungry. Can we eat first? And he said, well, you don't like to have sex when you're full. And we can eat, then we can go for a walk, and then we go inside. And he was done. He was pissed. That was the last straw. All of the things I had done, not wanting to have sex when we got to the hotel was it. And I thought, I'm really trying to be real now. I want to have a real relationship with this guy. And so I told him, something's wrong. Like, I've never been late before. I'm nervous. And I just really wanted a partner then. And I thought, like, if anyone was going to be that opportunity, it was going to be him. And he stopped looking at me. He wouldn't touch me, talk to me, except to say, it's not like you keep it anyway. And I said, well, I'm almost 30. Like, of course I would keep it. I have a good job, 2-bedroom apartment. Like, I would keep it. And he didn't talk to me again until I suggested walking to Walmart and getting a pregnancy test. And so there, in my proudest moment in a Miami Walmart, I sat on a toilet and on a stick. And it was my most joyous moment when I realized that I wasn't pregnant. I was just really stressed out. And we broke up at the airport. And surprising to everyone, including myself, I was devastated. For weeks, I cried, I wouldn't eat, I would moan on the phone to my mother, and she was like, what are you doing? You hated him. And I was like, I don't know, I miss him. And then I went onto Facebook, and there was Avi wearing pink skinny jeans and a white cut-off top and a candy necklace, and I thought, okay, I'm good.